Guten Morgen, meine Freunde. Now, I want you guys to take a look at this, okay? Someone in the GBSS chat, and I have many friends in the GBSS chat, so they called me and forwarded me something that Mr. Cliff Nesfield wrote in the chat concerning me. So today we're going to take a look at what he said, and we are going to analyze it, and we are going to try to figure what is the genesis of this man's deep-rooted hatred or deep-rooted jealousy, whichever one it is, okay? And we're going to get to the bottom of this. Now let's deal with the first part of what he said. He said that Perry is all bluster, okay? Now what does it mean to have bluster? Bluster means loud, aggressive, and boastful talk. And it's filled with empty threats. Okay, Mr. Cliff Nesfield, have you seen me threaten anyone on my social media? On Honovi Global Network? Have I sent any empty threats to anyone? Now you should know, but you see, you're not cut from that sort of cloth, so you probably wouldn't know. Green Street men don't send threats for people. As a matter of fact, you might have seen a conversation thread between another Green Street man and I, where I said to him that, look, if you got something to say to me, then say it to me when you see me, okay? We don't go for empty threats. And again, I have not uttered any empty threats to anyone. Not my style. If I have to say something to someone, when I see them in person, I'll say it to them. Then we'll take it from there. So that dismisses the empty threats part of your bluster assertion. At this stage of the game, I don't think I've got much to prove. You should ask the people I grew up with. They'll tell you who I am, okay? But I'm a grown man now. I don't go out of my way to look for trouble. But like every other man, I have the right to be able to deal with trouble, okay, when it comes my way. Number one, you never grew up with me, Cliff. You guys Bronxed early, right? So you don't know me really, okay? And as far as I've heard about you, the people who grew up with you, said you were a little wimp, okay? That butter couldn't melt in your mouth. You barely said anything. No wonder you're compensating so much in your latter years. I mean, people even in the chat are getting frustrated. Everything that comes in the chat, my God, you run with it. And you out-chat everybody else. Now, I'm not the one going all over the place boasting about my military career, okay? You're the one that's doing that, okay? And that's if you ever fire a shot in jest. There are many people, bro, who have military experience and have done things that you may never even dream of doing, but you don't see them going around talking about it. But every opportunity you get in the chat, you're always talking about, oh, my military background. What does that tell me? You should tell him what your MOS was. Then he goes on to say, I believe he's just trying to grow his base to make money. Well, even if that was the case, actually that's a good ambition, right? To provide a service in the political domain and make a couple of bucks from it. Why not? But obviously you don't know and you don't understand my motivation. Because my motivation stems from a fundamental love of country, okay? And for your information, for the last 4 years, I've devoted all my time, my resources, my energy, okay, without making a penny from it. How about that? I've devoted my resources to our party. And that is why you see we've been able to do all these events, okay? So if you got a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you, Cliff. Some of us genuinely love our country. Some of us would like to see our country released from the clutches of vipers, socialist Marxists, charlatans, and imposters. Unlike you. Now you have become an idol worshiper. So I understand part of the genesis of why your blood hurt. I understand. I understand the jealousy. I understand the fact that your senior idols are being torn down and exposed. So that hurts you. But we'll get a little more into the genesis of why you're acting the way you're acting and why you're making reckless statements. Then he goes on to say, for example, the German spiel. Okay, well, just to help you, remember, spiel. That's how you pronounce it, spiel. Okay, the SP is like a SCH, spiel. So, I see you're mad. You're mad that I'm speaking German. No, you don't know why I'm speaking German. You don't know what experience I've had that caused me to speak in German. But that's for me to know and for you to find out. But you know what? Du verdammte, I verschüchtiger, kleine Schlampe. How about that? Go figure out what that means. And then, to the last part, then he actually reveals what this is all about. This is a part where he reveals what this is all about. And I understand, you guys may not understand, but I will explain. He says, I can't decide what his real objective is. You're goddamn sure right. You obviously don't know what my objectives are. Okay? But this is a part where he reveals. He says, I can't decide what his real objectives are. Okay? But he must have gotten it from his stepmother. That right there, that last statement, tells you exactly what all of this is about. And I'll explain to you guys. So he's referring, my stepmother he's referring to, is actually his big sister. Okay? His big sister. Sister Peggy Nesfield. His big sister he's talking about. Okay? So it goes to show that all of this he has said before ultimately was about trying to throw some shade through me on his big sister. That's what this is about. Okay? Well, I'll tell you, Cliff, for all the tactical experience you say you've had, for all the strategic thinking you say you've learned from the military, then if you were so strategic or you were so tactical, guess what you would have done? When your stepmother was not feeling well, when she was sick, you would not have put her into someone else's care. You would have took the time off and come and take care of your stepmother. So that way, you would not have been outwitted and you would not have been left with nothing. Okay? So don't displace your bitterness, okay, part of it, on me, or try to throw shade on your sister through me. Okay? Don't throw your bitterness on me by association, because it's kind of out of line and disrespectful, because you know how dear this woman is to me. So for you to try to use me to try to throw shade on her, that's just downright despicable. If you got a problem with your sister, go talk to your sister and try to resolve that. Okay? Again, if you were so smart, if you were so tactical, if you were so strategic, obviously you didn't learn anything in the military. Because if you did, you would have known that when your stepmother was not feeling well, that you should have rushed and go to her bedside, okay? And make sure you stick around. So whatever you had to get, you would have gotten it. Just maybe. You ever thought just maybe she was upset that you weren't around? That's why you didn't get anything? You ever thought that she was upset? Okay? That's why you didn't receive anything? After all she may have done for you? And you wasn't at her side? You ever thought about that? So, you have nobody to blame but yourself, Cliff Nesfield, for your situation and not receiving anything. Okay? Cliff Nesfield. You know, Cliff Nesfield, some people may consider your actions towards the end of this woman's life as ungrateful. Okay? That you didn't rally to her bedside. Probably she thought it was ungrateful. So let's continue to take a little deeper dive into why Mr. Cliff Nesfield may have some sort of bitterness, some sort of grievance towards me. And of course we understand why he has a grievance towards his sister. But I will take a little deeper dive and explain to you guys why he may have some 30-something plus years grievance towards me. And now we saw it as an opportunity to try to poke or throw some shade. Or you made a mistake. So let's start with this Cliff Nesfield When you were throwing all that shade, why didn't you explain to the people in the GBSS chat that you might have been pissed off because over 30-something years ago, remember, as we used to say back in the days, that Yankee chick that came to Grenada, okay, and she rolled up in a joint by Peggy, and she sort of fell for your boy, and she sort of fell for this good-looking fella right here, and you were pissed because you were trying to go after her, and she wasn't paying you any mind, and she was coming and telling me, oh, he's trying all of this shit behind me, and I'm not interested in this dude. You remember that, Cliff Nesfield? Why didn't you tell the people in the GBSS chat that may be part of your motivation for being pissed? That you see your boy now is doing things and people appreciate what he's doing. And that again opens up wounds that, oh shit, this guy got one over me 30-something years ago, and there it is. And oh, there he's doing well. People love his political commentary, and oh, nobody's paying attention to me. Is that what it is, Cliff Nesfield? Is that the genesis of your anger and bitterness? And it wasn't just one so-called Yankee chick. Remember the other one that fell for me also? I can't help it, Cliff Nesfield, that I'm a good-looking guy. I can't help it, okay? So I know you were slighted, two of them, okay? I rolled up in a joint by Peggy and they all fell for your boy, okay? Is that why you pissed, Cliff Nesfield? In some respects, Cliff Nesfield, you should be grateful to me. Remember that night over 30-something years ago when I rolled up in a joint in Bananas and one of these ladies were interested in me and she had two friends, and then I hooked up you and I hooked up you-know-who. This gentleman that's actually, I'm not even going to call his name. He's actually involved in NDC now. Okay? Remember that? And we all partied and had a good time? You remember that night? Fantastic night, huh? So, Cliff Nesfield, you should be appreciative. You should be thanking me for showing you how to cop the chicks. For showing you how to be suave and get with the ladies. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. Okay? These are some of the reasons why Mr. Cliff Nesfield would think it's appropriate to throw shade on me. Okay? Again, Cliff, you saw me a few months ago at Rawls' funeral. You could have said to me that you had a gripe. You could have told me, he's like, yo, I don't like you really, you know. But instead, what do you try to do? You're trying to turn me and trying to badmouth and throw shade on your sister, who you know that woman is dear to me. What do you think? You think I'm going to betray that woman? You think I'm going to get caught in the middle of you and your sister's fight? What do you expect? You expect me to go to your side? Is that what you expect? Man, this woman is dear to me, bro. You should know that. You should know, bro. Wir Germanen sind treu. Okay? Wir Germanen sind treu. We Germanic people are loyal, bro. Okay? We're loyal. A lot of this, the bottom line is that this comes down to politics. That you're a staunch idol worshiper of the NDC. Okay? And obviously, I'm on the other side of the fence. So you got a problem with that. And you see that we're exposing these charlatans, these socialist Marxists and imposters, and you're hell of a piss. You're butthurt that your idols are being exposed. So, Mr. Idol worshiper, I'm sorry, can't help you. Okay? My loyalty is to my family and Grenada. So get used to it, buddy. So get used to it, buddy. A lot more is coming for the NDC. I'm going to hold them accountable. Okay? And we're prepared for this fight. So if you know a little bit of thing about tactic and strategy, guess what? We always have reserve ammunition. We have not even brought out the heavy artillery yet. They're laying in reserves. Okay? It's so private. You know how we settle this. Keep counting. Take a look. You owe me the amount that I made. The bottom line is this, Private. I believe you got more important things you should be thinking about, okay, and focusing on, than trying to sow division among what I would consider family. In diesem Sinne, guten Tag.